Welcome back to episode 319 of the Bad Taste Video Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm here with Grizz. We're about to get into some masked killer action. You may be surprised this week by my opinion. But before that, or maybe you're not, I don't know. But before that, let's hit the intro. What an opening credits song. I think you kind of know you're I think you know you're doomed from the start with this one. What's up, Jane Doe? We are here covering Edge of the Axe, a movie that I kind of had a low opinion of for quite some time. I used to own the tape. I sold it. I didn't really like it then. But Grizz brought it up and he said, "Hey man, why don't you give it another shot? We'll see how it goes." Unfortunately, man, I think my opinion still stays. This one was not the best, in my opinion.
I 100% agree with you.
But I know people love it. I know people really do like this movie. I guess I see it. I see why people do. But to me, for whatever it is, for whatever reason, I'm like hyper generalizing everything right now. For whatever reason, I just feel like it never gets over the hill. You know what I mean? Like nothing ever really pays off. The opening sequence is pretty cool, but like beyond that, man, like there's really not much to this movie. And it's a slasher. It's a late 80s slasher. Come the fuck on.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, this is one of those slashers that just misses so hard. I brought it up because I know you had mentioned in the past that you didn't like it. I had never seen it. I wanted to give it a fucking a watch, give it a fair chance. And dude, this movie sucked hard. Like this was pretty hard for me. It was so boring. I think that's the problem with like I figured out for me what the problem was right away is that this movie this is a fucking try hard movie, dude. It tries so hard to be this big slasher, to have these characters with all of this fucking background and like character development. And all that does is really make for a very boring slasher movie with zero payoff of the big slasher kills that I'm expecting in a movie like this.
I definitely agree, but I'm looking at the also known as on IMDb, Axeman in Japan.
Okay.
And I like this one. Axolution in Western Germany.
That would be my tag team name if we were fucking.
We'd be the Axolution.
Axolution. Yeah. Final.
But this movie, like, you don't really have any history with this film. It's always been a pretty collectible tape since I've been collecting. People have always
surprisingly too. I can't imagine like. This tape had to have taken off because of the cover art, because sure. This is one of the ones where when you watch it, it doesn't like deliver. So I would be in your shoes. I'd be like, wow, I fucking finally got this tape that has all this hype around it. Let's give it a watch, and then I'd be like, man, this isn't for me. I got to get rid of it. this.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Let somebody else appreciate it.
That's just how it goes. But Grizz, do you want to give a little synopsis of Edge of the Axe?
Some fucking... This is kind of a convoluted story of like these kids, and then there's like a history of like a psych ward kid and there's like a mystery of like, oh, where is the psych ward kid now? But on top of that, there's a fucking slasher on the loose killing all kinds of people in a small town. And then there's a sheriff who doesn't want any of this to be fucking brought to light. Is like trying to do a hush job and everything. It's a lot, man. And I think that's part of the problem for me is it doesn't really just like narrow in on a good story. It just kind of gives you this broad paintbrush of like bullshit.
Yeah.
Unneeded.
What's with all the cops in these movies? Like, oh, we got to keep it hush hush. It's like you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like nobody gives a shit. Like in all the Friday the 13th movies, like they try to keep it all hush hush. It's like, relax. Nobody gives a fuck. You guys are going to be
the
fine.
Hysteria of 100 to 200 people is nothing like the hysteria of a whole city of people. So it's like, let the town people know there's a fucking killer. You'll probably get to the bottom of it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
If everybody fucking knows than if you just try to keep it quiet.
Exactly. And it's funny because like by the late 80s, do you feel like the masked killer thing has been like done to death? Like, is it over?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably, a part of it is that this movie's very cliche. It's very cookie cutter fucking slasher movie. Masked guy, black gloves. It's all fucking here. POV of a weapon being used and shit. Like, it's all the same stuff you've seen in every slasher since fucking Halloween. And it's boring as hell, man, because it's not done in an original way and it's not done in a way that delivers on the gore side. It really is not much of a bloody movie. There's a lot of kills that are happening off camera or things that are happening in front of you but just aren't as brutal as I think they're trying to get them across.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did, however, think the casting in this was pretty good. I think everybody who was in it, I think they played their characters well. I don't think it was necessarily them. I think it was more so just like the story was not really that great. And it's funny because it's a late 80s low budget slasher. Obviously it's not going to be a fucking Edgar Allan Poe classic or whatever.
But understanding of pacing would go a long way, man.
Yeah,
and this movie doesn't have that.
I don't know. It just never gets me. And you know me, I fucking like everything. I give everything the benefit of the doubt and every.
Yeah. For you to give anything any kind of negative review, you really genuinely do not like it.
Now, I will say this. It's
been since April Fool's Day since you've probably said these strong of words about a movie.
Well, I will say this, all right? It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm not going to say this is fucking... I'm not going to say it's horrible. I'm not going to say don't watch it or anything. I will say, though, that it's not for me. I didn't enjoy it. I found it pretty boring. There are a few things in it that were entertaining, that were pretty good, but just not enough for the hour and a half running time. Maybe if this was cut down to an hour or so, 68 minutes, something like that, maybe it would have been a little bit better. But I don't know, man. Hour and a half of no real kills, no real suspense. I feel like I was able to figure out the killer probably about halfway through the movie.
Yeah,
I realized who it was. I did,
and even the ending is just kind of unclimactic. It's like you see everything coming.
That's always that's been done before. I feel like, right? I feel like I've seen that. Yeah. We'll talk about the ending when we get to it, but I feel like I've seen it, and I don't really like the way that it was done here. I feel like it was rushed. Like they had all this shit, and the movie literally ends in 20 seconds, and that's it. It's done.
Dumbest way. Yeah.
Not everything could be
and it's
all night long,
dude. Because this movie starts really strong, and that's the thing that's kind of fucked up. Minus that fucking opening credit title scene, horrible music choice, horrible opening credit font for this slasher movie to use that computer text because the whole computer element of this movie plays such a small part.
Yeah, it could have been a notebook. It didn't necessarily have to be a computer. It wasn't really integral to everything.
That's not very slasher of you to make a fucking title sequence that it looks like that. It's fucking lame. But
unless it's Evil Speak. Evil Speak can do that shit.
Evil Speak, but that's fitting of the fucking.
It's not really
movie.
a slasher and everything. Yeah. All right. Please proceed.
But anyways, the fucking before that even happens, we do get this like opening kill scene that I'm like, oh fuck, like I think this is actually going to be pretty fucking cool. We start with this like this masked killer in a fucking car wash appearing out of nowhere and murdering this lady, and I thought this was a really unique fucking shot. To actually have like this killing happening inside of a car wash, I thought was kind of cool. I can't remember too many movies that I've seen.
I can't think of any.
You know, where like the killer is killing somebody inside of a fucking car wash. So immediately I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking cool to hang on to.
It also looks like it's a Lifetime movie, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the killer winds up with the axe, smashes through the windshield of the car, and just hacks her up. But the music that's playing, I love it.
Sounds great. The shot of her bloody on the window with the soap and everything. I love the way that looks.
See, like, this is a very promising opening sequence.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like, cool. Let's build off of this. What's going on with this killer?
Do you feel like this is like the, like they used up the best sequence of the movie immediately?
That is the best scene. Yeah, spoiler, guys. That's the best scene of this movie.
I will say that there's one rivaling scene.
Yeah.
We do have.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, I would say that's probably also the most gruesome of the things, and it's not even really that gruesome.
But we start with that, and then it goes, I feel like, for a while with nothing. You know, with so much exposition of these characters, so much. You know, the only thing that actually I think that's kind of cool that happens towards the beginning of the film before we have this like drawn out fucking boring, you know, I think like it's 10, 15 minutes of the film of just like character. We meet these guys who's going to be one of them going to be like our main character in the movie. Him and his friends come across that corpse.
Oh, they find the body in the bar, right?
Yeah. And this to me is probably the best effect of the movie is this actual dead body. This looks fucking incredible.
So they pull down a little trap door for the attic, I guess, of this bar, and down swings.
My God.
What was that, one of the waitresses or whatever?
That looks fucking awesome. All decayed, his face is falling off and shit. Looks really good.
all desiccated and shit. Like it really does look good, and this all happens within the first like 20 or so minutes of an hour and a half long movie. So you kind of get the idea that this movie's going to be awesome, that there's going to be a lot of shit, but I feel like this is it. Like it never gets beyond that. This could have been shown on basic cable without any cuts.
With no editing. Yeah, with zero edits, man. Like there's nothing that goes too far. There's no, there's no fun nudity or anything. It's just that's pretty much what you're getting is what you just saw right there.
And I can't really remember off the top of my head, but like I don't really remember there being a ton of swearing in this movie either.
No, I feel like this could go up almost completely unedited on TV and play.
Apparently,
what is the rating on this? Does it say what the?
It's an R.
It's got to be probably R for violence and stuff.
Yeah.
But man, this could pass for a PG-13. Fucking any day of the week, man. There's not much that's offensive here.
It's a modern PG-13 for sure. Maybe maybe one of like I'm sure there's a newer release of this. Maybe it's uncut. Maybe there's like some more shit on there that makes it a little bit better. But I feel like they're really holding back on this, and I really can't see it being any more bloody or gory than what we're really seeing. You know, it's not like it's not like they cut away and then cut back and there's like fucking shit everywhere. It looks like they just kind of did a little like with a little syringe full of blood. Not really much going on.
Sprays, classic axe chopping kind of blood.
And you may be saying like, hey, you guys have said before, like it's not all about the kills. It's not all about that shit. And you're right. But this type of movie, I feel like you need it.
It's a slasher, bro.
It's a masked, low budget slasher from the late 80s. Like at this point, 88, like you got to step it the fuck up. Right? Like
it's such an overdone, it's such a saturated fucking genre at that point. Your killer is unoriginal, the mask is unoriginal, the fucking weapon is unoriginal. You really needed to bring it in the kills department. And I'm not just talking, it's got to be fucking gory. Like that's a part of it that I enjoy, yeah. but I feel like the kills have to be interesting. I feel like the kills have to be original and unique that make me fucking go, oh, that's fucking cool. That's a different way of doing that. And, you know, even like they continue to do that in the Friday the 13th series. You know, you got fucking a dude in a sleeping bag being beaten to death against a tree and shit. Like,
yeah, you're not really seeing anything, but, you know,
it's interesting as fuck. It's a unique way to kill somebody. And those are the things that will draw me into a slasher because they are all so similar that you got to have some fucking unique qualities to you to be like, yeah, this is fucking cool.
Who would you say is your favorite masked killer?
Man, that is a fucking tough question.
It's a hard one, right? Like, cause you think of one and then you think like, oh wait, fuck, there's like, and then there's this one, then there's this one. But like, if
then I think of like other ones who are like, I guess are technically not mad. You know what? This is kind of this is an out there one. But just because I weighed like his personality is the person that plays him, but fucking Dr. Decker, dude from Night Beast, just a fucking is awesome.
Night Beast
or Nightbreed. Sorry, yeah,
wrong movie. But David Cronenberg, right, plays him.
Yeah, Cronenberg plays him, and that fucking mask with the button eye and shit, dude.
It's like very unsettling.
Cool. Yeah.
I think my favorite. I think I have to go with. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's fucking stupid. But like Jason, bro, like Friday the 13th, hockey masked up.
I mean,
I feel like that was like kind of one of the root movies of like my horror fandom. Was seeing Friday the 13th part like 3, 4, 6, 7 on USA Network as a kid. I feel like that always like it never got old to me. You know, sometimes like people they start getting into like SOV films, low budget 16 millimeter shit, everything. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't watch that mainstream stuff. I don't watch like that normie
you gotta
shit.
Mix it up.
Like, dude, I still love all those fucking Friday the 13th movies. I love all those Nightmare on Elm Street movies, the Halloween movies. Like, that shit's still entertaining as fuck to me. I watch them every year. And like, once October comes, I'm watching all the Halloween movies, all of them.
So, putting away the mask thing, like in general, would you say like the Friday the 13th is like your favorite slasher movie of all time?
Would I say it's my favorite slasher movie of all time?
I have a favorite for sure. I got to go with Maniac. I dig. Man. I love the vibe. I love the seediness of it. Just a lot of the point of view shots in that movie are real fucking gnarly, man.
Dude, I can't even. My favorite slasher because like I love the Prowler, I love Maniac, I love Friday the 13th, and then like there's all like the other like low budget shit. Man,
you like Fulci's fucking slasher stuff, like I Tortured a Duckling and like movies like that.
I do enjoy like the New York Ripper and all that, but like, is it my favorite? No, like that's kind of hard. I gotta think about that one. But like, if I really had to like, yeah, I guess fucking like Friday the 13th Part 3. I guess.
Part 3, yeah.
Yeah, I guess
that's my favorite Friday the 13th also.
Yeah, I guess that would have been it. I think that's the one I've watched the most, known the best. Maniac is up there. I feel like that was like a staple of like where I grew up, like watching horror movies. But there's so much other shit out there too that we've watched throughout the years that are slasher films, like, you know, like Necromaniac and all that shit, like all that's crazy stuff that we've watched only a couple times, you know, like it does.
Yeah, you put stuff like that in there. I mean, movies like Lunatic. I mean, that's a slasher movie. You know, just Las Vegas Bloodbath. I mean, technically, that's a slasher movie. That's a dude going around fucking chopping people up.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to choose. I feel like the masked slasher thing is a little bit easier because it like narrows down that pool a bit. But I feel like there was potential with this one. Yeah, it's like the white mask and the black trench coat and stuff, but it does have that like uncanny valley, unsettling feature to it where it could have been like action, like if there was blood going all over the mask and all that shit.
Dude, that's a great call. It's a white mask. Get some fucking...
We don't really
spray on there early
really
and then continue to keep the spray, man. That would have been cool.
Now, I know this has like, obviously it's not the movie, but That would have been a sick mask for an undead slasher. You know what I mean? Like a non-human wearing that mask. Like that would have been a sick reveal, right? You take it off and it's
like dead Jason underneath of it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah. Like that would have been fucking awesome, but they chose not to do that. That's all right.
It's a very human. It's pretty much just like a fully white, like ultra human mask.
Picture like
so to have like a dead thing underneath of that would be a pretty cool reveal.
Picture the Blue Man Group, but it's white.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what it fucking looks like. That is it, dude.
But throughout the movie, there are like fucked up things that happen. Things that like you kind of wonder. Is there a supernatural aspect to it? But it's not. It's just like plot armor and plot magic and all that shit. We have a scene that we have a clip from that they pulled a fucking Godfather and they leave the pig's head, you could say, prized pig's head in their bed. Now, I found this kind of interesting because like, throughout this film, this killer is just killing people, but like this one, they chose to like do the old like torture him first, kind of do the psychological fucking shit to him.
This was going for shock, I think. It doesn't really get it.
So she sees like the trail of blood. What's going on? What could it be? Opens up her fucking bedroom door. Boom. Pig's head.
Farmer Vincent, you did it again, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking taken and you're gonna end up in the Saw fucking trap. I thought that was kind of weird to throw in there, right? Like that was kind of uncharacteristic. Like the killer really didn't do that sort of stuff. Like the body
never
that
brought back up, dude. It's just a one-off. Weird fucking scene.
The body that fell before seemed like it was just like hidden there and they just found it. Like it wasn't like it was set there to be like, hey, look at this. It was more just, you know.
And that body had been there for like a while. That wasn't like a fresh corpse that they had found either, and shit, which was weird. Like it was
definitely a decent amount of time. One thing I want to show here is what we were talking about before, how like the things that you think are supposed to, you know, look a certain way, they don't. When the woman that's like the woman of the night, she gets killed by this masked killer. She's attacked by a person wielding a fucking axe. This should be brutal, but it literally looks like a play school toy.
Yeah, because it shows like the axe hitting her, and it doesn't look like it's like there's any real impact.
There's no violence behind it.
Weird. Yeah, it's so weird.
How are you doing?
The mask is cool, anyways. But yeah, they show it's like a fucking pretty decent sized axe. Almost looks like a fire axe, like when you would have in like a emergency thing. And they're hitting this woman with it like over and over, and she's like moving around, like still
like
squirming.
Those back hits look just so weird. I don't know.
Like really pulling back. And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. So like it looks
Could've
really
been way
weak.
better, man.
Yeah, like you could have at least just did like the 1 or 2 hits with the big blood splash, and that's it. But instead, like over and over, where it looks like you're pulling back with the Nerf sword.
Does too. I want to see the big swing decap. You know, like I don't care how goofy it looks. This is a low budget fucking movie. Let's take that head off. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where this movie goes to the next level. It becomes awesome, in my opinion.
You know, it's funny. I feel like this movie is in the same realm as a movie like Doom Asylum, but I like Doom Asylum. I feel like that pulls off everything it's trying to do, where this one like doesn't. But it's in the same, I would say, the same budget, right? Like the same quality.
This one tries hard. That one like tried and succeeded. Like that one worked. You know, like you just said.
Yeah,
I don't think this one worked, man.
I think it's just like they needed a better stunt coordinator maybe for these kill sequences or something. I don't know. It's just whatever it is about this movie, it just doesn't grab me. It just really is kind of boring. The kills aren't exciting. The killer is pretty like stagnant. You only really see them, you know, like from the same angles. I just don't know why this movie rubs me the wrong way. But like I said, there are some pretty good things, and the music that you hear every time that the killer attacks, it's fucking awesome. We're gonna hear it again in a little bit with one of the probably my favorite scene or sequence in the movie. But man, this could have used some fucking a little bit more gore, just a little bit.
And the thing of it is too, though, is like I've liked movies with less gore way more than I like this movie. It doesn't have to be like that gore. I think it just has to, like I said, have some more unique qualities to it, but also like hone in this story, man, because it's so fucking convoluted. You're jumping from so many different characters and like trying to follow what they're doing, what's going on, and you're introducing new characters like these doctor and shit like that halfway through, and it's just like. We don't need all that shit.
You have the red herring kid who's like a computer person, and everybody thinks he's fucking weird. He's like
he's
red
the boyfriend
herring.
Of
he rides a motorcycle and all that shit. You have like his interactions with his newly found girlfriend. They're trying to figure each other out. Then there's like a whole a woman cheating on the husband with like some other dude, and like he like knows about it, I think, or
that's his like mom, wasn't it? Like, isn't that dude's mom?
I thought it was
he picks her up at the dock, and he was like, "Oh, wouldn't Dad want to know about something?" And I don't know. I thought he made a comment that like alluded to that older woman being his mom, because that's why he was taking her home.
Because that's the woman that gets killed in the car, right?
Yeah, and and I mean, I guess killed. I guess.
Should we show that?
I mean, what would you guys think? Does she get killed? Let's take a look.
Christopher?
Oh, there's nobody there. But is there? The killer.
Face man.
And of course you have to have, somebody getting chased through the woods.
Yeah. This
that's
just checks another
staple.
box. She's gonna fall. Don't worry.
Don't worry, it's coming. She's not in proper footwear.
Yeah, that was a good fall.
And then
struggle a little.
Our killer seems to be walking with the trench coat on.
He has no problems. He can, that's pretty much the entire scene. Is them. Yeah.
You don't see anything.
No.
What the fuck, man? What is going on here?
And the thing that sucks is that she was set up to be an unlikable character.
Yeah, like
they spent time building her up to be a piece of shit, and then they don't. Not do they not give you like a wildly fucking outrageous death? They don't even give you her death on camera.
No,
they make you fucking wonder what happened, and it's such a lame follow through on character building. Where if like you're gonna build somebody up to be a fucking hated character, that's your opportunity to have like a get out of a jail free card on what you do to this person, because the audience is gonna forgive you based on the way they feel about that character. And you've just fucking wasted so hard with this.
I want to know, people who like really enjoy this film, like what are your favorite parts of this movie? Like what are your favorite parts of this film? What makes you love this movie? Let us know. We really want to know. Comment on
I'm missing something. I'm open to fucking like legitimately seeing like it from a different perspective. But this is my first time watch, and I would have a hard time watching it.
Next time we hang out, we're gonna watch it together.
Yeah, maybe that'll
we're
make
missing
a difference.
Something. Look, sorry, man. Chat's blowing up now. I did enjoy the sequence with the one woman who ends up getting like her fingers cut off.
Yeah, and they all end up like playing a role. All the people we see dying kind of end up like falling into this role of people who were associated with this mental hospital that's been brought up, and this kid that was sent to. That was such a weird.
Our main character's cousin, maybe.
Yeah,
but is it like it was one of those things? But this woman, she finds her dog dead in the house, so she runs to go get her shotty. To protect herself. And this is where we get probably the most cringe-inducing sequence of the film.
Yeah.
Phone ain't working. She runs to the closet. Well, she runs into the kitchen, then runs to the closet, grabs the shotgun. Oh shit, it's not loaded. Let me reach back in and grab some shells, and our killer chops off her fingers as she's reaching in. And you see the fingers getting chopped off, but it just looks like the fake fingers that used to get at like Nathan's or whatever from the arcade.
Not mad at it. I'm happy that this scene is in the movie.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yes. It does look good. It makes you cringe because you think about getting your fingers cut off like that. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. But there's not enough.
Even
blood,
her death is unfucking climactic, dude. Like, this might as well, like, because we see her get her fingers chopped off, and then there's like a chase through the house between her and the killer. Classic fucking slasher, you know, some point of view shots of the killer with the axe and everything. But then it ends. This is pretty much the streetwalker's death in a house. Is it not pretty much the exact same thing?
Same deal. I do like her running through the house with like her hand missing fingers though. That's
looks good.
That's very good.
Blue Man Group.
See, you can hear the music playing. Oh, poor fish. Yeah, like
that looks so bad.
She's taking blows to the chest with the axe, and like
took 2 hits, and that's. Oh, you get a little spray on the wall.
You got a little spray. That was the most that you get out of the whole film. That music, though, that shit is fucking like hypnotizing.
I legitimately think people are expecting this to be a completely different movie when they buy this on tape. When they have not seen it and they go based off of the tape hype and off the cover art, I feel like most people have to be pretty disappointed in what they get. Because I maybe I'm speaking for myself, but if I have a tape that I'm after that has this elusive, quote unquote, elusiveness to it, people want it, it's hard to come by or whatever, I always assume that it's a pretty gnarly movie. It's got to have some kind of special quality to it that makes it
like, hey, watch this film. Yeah.
Even if I don't see it, like, I understand why 555 is a fucking expensive tape. I hate the fucking movie, but I understand where it is and why it is what it is. There's something unique about that film. With this, there's just missed opportunity. Exactly like what's going on in the chat here. Like fucking Stefan just said, like, it's a missed opportunity to capitalize on like what could have been a fucking awesome movie, because it's all right here, man. Mm-hmm. You got a decent cast that are good at acting. You have a killer. You got a decent weapon. It's just a giant fucking missed opportunity. And I feel like people who buy it have to feel that way once they watch it.
I just don't understand it, man. Like, why not just go all the way? Like, this shit is straight to video. Even if like you were trying to get a mainstream release for this, shoot it anyway. Yeah. Shoot it anyway.
Have the footage.
Just have it. Yeah, just have it. I don't know. 25 years down the line, somebody will put it out again. Actually, more than that, 35 years down the line, somebody will put it out again. Jesus Christ.
But man, that pretty much kind of brings us to the ending of this, right?
Yeah, you want to explain the ending for these people, because if you weren't going to be shocked watching it.
Throughout the movie, they have the main character that we've talked about, the kid with the computer and his love interest, and she has this cousin that got sent away to the psych ward, but the boyfriend's figured it out, man. He's put it all together. He's realized that she's actually this Charlie character that was sent away to the psych ward. She's now killing all these people that are being found. He's kind of using his computer, associated how all the people that are being killed were all
connected,
tied
in some way.
The treatment of Charlie or whatever the fuck this person was. And he's explaining to her that you're Charlie. You're the one that's fucking
you were locked up.
And she's looking at him like, motherfucker, you're the killer. He's got the black gloves on and stuff. So like you're led to believe that you don't even know who the real killer is. Is it fucking him or is it her? Like, obviously we know it's fucking her. Like, that's, it's not that hard to figure out, but they try to play it up here a little bit.
Yeah. So they tussle and they wind up outside with the awaiting local police. Something about those lights and that noise from like that time period.
Bob, cover the back.
Reminds me of like toys I had as a kid.
She's getting away from him.
She's running towards the police.
Snip's kid and the biker. Freeze!
The biker.
Dude, they fucking shoot this motherfucker with a shotgun. Damn.
Yeah.
Right in the chest. He's dead. And
She gives a big smile into the camera, and that's the fucking credits.
yeah, like, ooh, see, I got one over on them.
I know I'm Charlie. I'm crazy, you know. And like
feel-
before that, he's all like, "Let me." He's not even trying to like kill her. He's like, "I
me
know
help
you're
you."
the fucking killer. I love you. Let's fucking get out of here." And like, I'll find you a doctor that can fix you and shit. And then like, you know, she just thinks that like, you know, she's playing it off that he's the killer, obviously to have the outcome
Do
that
you-
you see here. But man, it's so weird.
Do you feel like that you don't spend enough time with the dude to like really give a shit about him? I feel like they don't develop that enough. Like their
Yes.
relationship, like you don't get to really like him. He seems like he's a likable guy, but like you don't really get to spend that much
I
time.
don't like him though, and maybe that's because I don't have enough time to develop that that kind of like feeling for him, because he's just a one-off character throughout this whole thing, because there's development on everything else but that relationship that is obviously like the key fucking, like this movie can have nothing but that relationship, and trying to figure that out through this movie and still have this work without all the extra bullshit that drags it down.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I like I said before, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. This is not the worst movie we've watched on here.
Shot well, decent soundtrack.
Yeah, like
know?
good cast and everything. It's worth watching. It's worth buying if there's a Blu-ray or something. Support that shit. $25 or $20. You know,
You got a
whatever
younger
you're
kid
good.
just getting into slasher movies that you don't want to go too crazy with. Great fucking
Yeah, it's not really
great movie to
scary.
show them.
It wouldn't like give. At least I don't think it would give a kid nightmares. It seems rather tame. I would definitely say at least give it a try, give it a watch. Not the best thing you're probably ever gonna see. I'm sure there are people that absolutely love this movie. I love absolutely stupid shit sometimes, but you know, it's still not for me, man. I gotta say, it's not the worst movie we watched on here, but it's just not for me. I can appreciate its good qualities, but for me, there was more negatives than positives. You know,
Hard to outweigh for sure.
yeah. I probably will try to see if there's a more extended cut, because I'm interested. Because I wonder maybe if maybe there's something else out there. I don't know.
And this was the VHS cut that we watched this time. You know, this was the
Yeah, so
original.
so this was
release
an
that you
R.
would get.
So the VHS says R on it, but I think on IMDb it says not rated. So maybe there is an unrated version. That would be pretty fucking
Interesting.
cool. But I don't fucking know. But that was Edge of the Axe from 1988. See it for yourself and make a decision. Let us know what you think. We want to know what the fuck. Why do you love it? Why do you hate it? But next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be covering another movie from 1988, and that's going to be Twisted Issues, a low-budget shot-on-video classic. Another one. I've never seen it. Never seen it. Going to be a first-time watch for me.
Fucking skateboarding zombie killer, dude. This is gonna be fun as fuck, man.
Hey,
This is
there
gonna
we
be,
go, man. Are you familiar with this movie, or is this going to be a first time for you too?
This is a first time watch for me. I do know like a little bit about the backstory and stuff like that. I've read about it online and everything. It's kind of what drew me to trying to find it. Just because the story is fucking, you know, skateboarding teen gets killed and comes back from the dead with a skateboard to seek vengeance. That sounds fucking right up our alley, man. So it was an obvious choice.
If you can have somebody come back from the dead and seek vengeance, what would the occupation and or hobby be?
Oh, dude! Like if they had to use their occupation or hobby to fucking kill somebody,
Yeah. Yeah.
like a Zamboni driver would be pretty good because they'd have to like really soup up that Zamboni to make it
Be
like a murder machine.
It'd have to
you
be like
know?
supernatural in some sort of way, right?
Yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
I feel like they've done a lot of them, just like super low budget. Oh man, what would be a good one? I'm trying to think. Like, what would be A really good one.
that you could actually like base a movie on too. Like you could be like a like a casino worker, like killing people with cards or some shit. Isn't that like Cards of Death? Isn't that what that fucking movie's kind of is?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, my man. It's we're gonna actually find out pretty soon.
I want to watch that.
I'm trying to think of like a good, maybe like has there ever been one where there's like a pilot that's like a ghost pilot that just like crashes planes?
A ghost pilot. I like
Right?
that.
That'd be pretty fucking crazy. But Grizz,
I like
next
ghost
week,
movies, dude.
ghost movies. Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
man.
Me
Yeah,
too.
like do you like those like new Conjuring movies? Like do you
Yeah.
enjoy those for the most part?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I like that shit. I'll watch anything,
Yeah.
man. If they like put at least a little bit of effort into it, it's probably gonna
Yeah,
be
for
pretty
sure.
good. You know?
Like I really liked like the actual Conjuring series, but like the spin-offs I couldn't get into that much. Like Annabelle and like
I didn't like the
The
nun,
Nun.
ones. I watched them. I think they were okay. Annabelle was like okay. I'm not really like a huge fan of that, but yeah, like the main Conjuring series, I think is solid. Even that newer
Solid.
one that the people didn't really like, The Devil Made
I
Me
thought
Do
it
It or
was
whatever.
decent.
I
Yeah,
thought that was
I thought
good.
it was decent.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I
I thought it was good. That's a solid like Halloween series to watch.
Original is fantastic.
Maybe
Original is
we should
so
do
well.
the first one. We should do the first
I
one
would
in October.
100%. I
That'd
fucking
be sick.
love that movie.
That movie's fucking awesome.
So what about like the Paranormal Activity series?
I like the first one. I think the second one was pretty good too, if I remember correctly.
It falls off pretty hard when the story gets a little weird. When
Little
it's
convoluted.
just kind of like a ghost fucking thing, like I like that aspect of it. The whole like witch cult tie-in thing is fucking.
Yeah, like there's more to it than
I know.
what meets the eye.
Let it be a cool fucking ghost story, man.
Yeah. Well, like as you know, I love the Hell House movies, the Hell House LLC movies. Like that's a sick fucking haunted house ghost thing, haunted house, which is I love that. As long as people put a little bit of effort into it, I'm into it, man. I love haunted house shit. We're gonna cover fucking. We're gonna cover a ghost movie, a Polonia ghost movie in October. That's gonna be a fun one. But yeah, man, I'm into that shit. Beyond Poltergeist, I need some.
Ghost movies are fucking cool, man. And like another movie type that like I feel like we'd never really cover. That's one of my favorites. Is like the spiritual horror movies. Like remember that fucking movie Stigmata from the fucking
like
the
real
90s?
Satanism shit, like real like
like
tangible
that movie Bless the
Satanism.
Child. Like those movies are so fucking good.
End of
dude. I like
Days.
them. Oh, dude, yeah, I forgot all about those.
Dude,
Those are fucking
years ago,
fantastic.
like I was a part timer at a school, working like doing like the maintenance shit and all that stuff. I was like working. I think I was doing like 7 to 11 or something like that. I was going after college, like after my night class. And I remember like I'd have nothing to do, and the only adult VHS I could find in the whole school was End of Days for some reason. And I used to fucking
Put
sit
that
there
on
and
for, like,
yeah,
over
I'd
and
fucking
over.
sit there and watch it on like a projector, like putting it on the wall. What the fuck
That's
is wrong
awesome.
with me? But yeah, I do like that fucking like legit like devil worshipping tangible Satanism where it's affecting like the world around them.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, that
So
shit
much
is
fun.
that shit is really good. I just watched Longlegs this week.
How's that? Yeah, I've heard
Dude,
good
awesome,
things.
awesome.
Yeah,
It was
good
awesome.
shit.
And that's one of those movies like it's a Satanism movie. It's fucking sick.
Okay. What's that one that we covered? Like fucking. There's a movie that we did recently. It's kind of like that. It's like supposed to be like a 70s, like based in the 70s, but it's like a modern fucking movie. The fuck was that, dude? Something about a house. Can't remember the name of it now. But it's really good. It's a fucking modern horror movie.
I'm fucking know, man. At this point, we've covered
Yeah,
so many fucking movies.
I know. It's giving you such a vague fucking
I was gonna say,
description.
I was
But
just
you
gonna-
should know this, Mike. Come on.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, we're gonna be getting into some fucking ghost movies once the Halloween season hits. Maybe we'll try to throw some of that fucking satanic panic shit in there for you, my man.
Yeah.
Get you in the mood. Haunted houses, all sorts of good shit. But before that, we're gonna venture into the wide world of metal. And Grizz, what do we have this week?
Last week, dude, we we got a little bit into a rabbit hole of talking about the Black Dahlia murder and stuff like that, and influence from there, from like Swedish death metal, different bands that we got into, and I was like, man, it'd be sweet to find a newer Swedish death metal band. It's got its own new thing going on, but really still holding true to that, like, Swedish death metal tradition. And I think I found it with Open Surgery. Mm-hmm. This band is, obviously from Sweden. True fucking death metal, man. I feel like this has the 90s vocal delivery that we talked a little bit about before.
For sure.
But really fucking ripping guitar players, great riffs, really fucking heavy. Why don't we start with that Unrelenting Massacre track? That's a fun one. Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Mass execution. Mass graves for the corpses.
I love this lead tone.
Oh yeah, that's solo tone. Fucking weird, man.
See, like they fucking rip. House of the Devil.
House of the Devil. Yeah, thank you. See, these people fucking know what I fucking like, dude.
My man.
House of the Devil fucking rules, man.
But yeah, they have a real like 90s like vocal delivery, but I feel like the music is very much like a more modern death metal.
Yeah.
The production is more of a modern death metal production. They're not really, I mean, it doesn't really sound like it. Maybe after the next clip we play, they don't really sound like they're using the HM2s.
No, I mean, it's not like it. Like I said, it's not like a cookie cutter Entombed band. They don't sound like that. But it is like with that vocal delivery, with the riff style, I think, especially the solo
it's
style.
It's in the ballpark.
Yeah. It's Swedish death metal, man. I think this is probably what's happening now in Sweden. This is probably a good representation of like their death metal scene, dude. Because a lot of the stuff that I looked up is pretty similar to this band, but I feel like these guys are doing it probably one of the best right now in that country.
Let's play Ceremonial Collector of Skulls. I feel like this was a good one for like riffage, like a good riffage clip.
It was a good one.
It's got like that death metal bounce.
Yeah.
The
fucking vocals rule.
I was gonna say the vocals is really good, super strong. He's almost got a corpse grinder delivery.
Dude, very, yeah. There's definitely some like Corpse influence for sure, like all together in this fucking band. There's a lot of Cannibal Corpse sounding. Even that bounce that you just mentioned is like very reminiscent of like, fucking Butchered at Birth fucking era, like Cannibal Corpse stuff.
That like death metal bounce, the death metal waltz.
And I had to pull a track that really showed off some of the guitar playing. So I think that has achieved a divine asphyxiation here. Some great solo
this one was
fucking
awesome.
work.
There's that guitar tone, baby. Ooh, with the wah. I love the guitars in this. Yeah,
I love that part coming in with that run.
It's really good, man. Like the songwriting is awesome on this album. I've never heard of
got
them
a
before.
Glenn Benton thing a little bit going on, right?
His like delivery, like his like cadence, and like the structure of the lyrics. Yeah, I would definitely say that also. Actually, now that you say it, they kind of sound very Deicide-ish.
Yeah,
now that you
I feel like
it,
that's probably the closest thing that we could compare it to, for sure.
Let me play that again. Dude, this sounds like Deicide.
That's Deicide for sure, dude.
Even this, like the soul with the. That's so funny. Dude, I think they rip. I think they're really good. I think people will like them. I love when like these death metal bands, you know, we like all sorts of like extreme metal and all that shit, but I love when like you get like these death metal bands that are like very easily consumable, where like they got a groove to them. It's not just like, you know, 240, 260 blast beats over and over with like Digitech purple pedal shifted vocals and shit.
Easily
like,
consumable. That is a great description of like my favorite kind of death metal, dude, for sure. Like, it's just like it catches the grooves you need it to. It makes you fucking headbang without even noticing that you're fucking doing it. The vocals have a great cadence to them. The hooks, like the just super hooky fucking riffs and everything. And I think those are definitely the best bands. Bands like Undeath right now are doing that and shit like that out of Rochester. And it's not that I don't like some of the weirder, like, you know, Sanguisabog and shit like that. Like, they're fucking good, man. Like, I'm not gonna, like, you know, I don't hate that band. It's just
sometimes
it's not
you
as
just wanna
easily
groove,
digestible.
Baby. Yeah, sometimes you just want to headbang.
Yeah.
That's it. You're doing something when you're fucking mowing that lawn. You need that rhythm, man. You're not trying to start and stop. You just want to keep rolling through. And
that's exactly it.
That's when you get into your mid 30s and shit, and your
keep
40s,
rolling, baby.
yeah. When you get in your mid 30s and your 40s, you start listening to death metal for mowing the lawn.
Yeah, that is fucking unfortunate.
I always laugh to myself like I'm listening to like fucking Massacred as I'm mowing the lawn, like waving to the fucking neighbors. I'm wearing a Mortician shirt, like a fucking like reanimated dead flesh shirt as I'm doing it. I'm wearing the jungle hat. I got cowboy boots on. Like, I look absolutely fucking nuts. Country living, man.
Dude, I love that, like, this is our, like, generation fully grown up and, like, realize that
we're all Florida, man.
Yeah, we are all pretty much the same as we were in high school, just fucking just older versions of ourselves.
Just now your back hurts. But Grizz, where could they find this fucking
jump over to their Bandcamp and download this new stuff. They got some merch and stuff. Really fucking great artwork, as you saw with the album cover here.
What's the name?
But dude, Open Surgery, man. Fucking get on this stuff, dude, because Swedish death metal is back with vengeance, man.
It's kind of nice that not everybody's trying to be like an HM2 band now. I mean,
it was it for a long time, man. It's all it was.
I like the HM2 shit. Like, don't get me wrong. I fucking have one. I have one sitting right over there on the shelf.
It's oversaturated.
But yeah, it got a little old, especially when the bands weren't really playing even like death metal. You know what I mean?
Or like, really playing them the correct way. I heard a lot of shitty HM2 tones.
Bro, you gotta
crank
shit.
it. Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta crank the motherfucker all the way up. Every fucking thing, dude.
I don't care what anybody says. The Taiwan version is just as good as the Japanese version. Yeah. It's the same shit. Just fucking, it's all going to sound like shit once you put it through your fucking amp. I feel like Trap Them did, like really kicked that, like, HM2 shit back into, like, the, now, when I say mainstream, I basically mean in our little sub group or whatever. But I feel like once they got, like, a little bit more well-known, all of a sudden, like, everybody wanted to be an HM2 band now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what those fucking things were capable of.
They didn't even know it.
You can't make it sound good.
People were asking, what's that left-hand path guitar tone? It's like, bro, it's a fucking shitty pedal that costs $25. Now they're like...
Everybody laughed at when you had it in the fucking early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I knew, man. I heard that Phantasm riff and I was fucking hooked.
That's it.
I say, I want to know how to play that fucking exactly. But Grizz, I think that's enough for this week. Next week, we're going to be covering Twisted Issues. I've heard of it. Never saw it. I'm pretty excited to cover it. That's going to be Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastvideopodcast. Getting pretty good at that. Or it's the energy drink that I'm drinking at like fucking 10 o'clock at night.
Dialed in.
Yeah. Right now, this is my second one of the day, so I don't know. I'm rolling. I think I'm at like 7. How many fucking...
Too many milligrams.
Yeah, too many. But I'm fucking dialed in. Top Gun shit. Call me Maverick, baby. The non-Scientology version. But Grizz, I gotta say,
Clear
dude,
up.
I'm pumped for the Halloween season this year.
Yeah.
Normally, we try to be too cool for school. We don't really like fucking play into it, but this year we're doing it.
Going all out.
We're doing all fucking spooky fucking Halloween movies. Gonna have guests. Gonna have all sorts of stuff. Wearing costumes. I just said that, so I don't know if we really will, but
Say thanks for fucking putting us up to that.
I gotta say this, man. It's we're recording this on Tuesday, the 27th of August. I am going to start figuring out my Halloween costume now.
Yeah, we have to, because we always wait till the last minute. And
I want to have a good costume for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all out, man. Or I'm just never gonna do it ever again. That's it. I'm gonna hang it up, hang up my headphones and the microphone. And
That'll be it. If
that's the
you
end
don't
of
pull
Bad
it off.
Taste Video. Yeah. But Grizz, is there anything else that you would like to mention besides the death of Psycho Sid? Sid Justice,
dude.
Sid Vicious, Sid Udi.
Remiss not to mention the Psycho, man.
I
No,
can't believe it.
he did it right though. He went out with his family around him. Didn't die in the fucking ring, an old crippled man still trying to fucking make $1. So he did it the right way. So
Dude
good
was
for
an
him.
impressive human. Huge,
Oh my god, a fucking
gigantic,
monster.
jacked.
You see that fucking heartbreaking fucking like tweet that he did a few weeks ago too?
No.
About being like, I don't got much time left. I wish the fucking WWE would just put me in the Hall of Fame. So probably be the last year that I'll be around to fucking go in.
Oh,
And then he fucking broke, dude. I was like, God
That's
damn.
rough. He deserves to go in
They'll
too.
put him in now, but it just kind of be like one of those things where it's like, yeah, you guys dragged your
Everybody
feet,
made
so.
fun of him for wanting to be home and playing softball and all that shit. The
Softball,
dude just
yeah.
wanted to be a normal guy. That's it. He wanted to hang out with his family and go play fucking
6'7"
softball with his buddies.
fucking normal guy.
I think he's taller than that. I think he was like 6'9", dude.
Yeah, I think he actually was like, I was gonna say 6'8", but yeah, he might have been 6'9".
Because when he faced the Undertaker, like they were like,
Taller.
yeah, he was a big motherfucker. When he broke his leg, holy shit.
God. That's like the gnarliest thing, like
It's
one of the
one of-
gnarliest videos from the ring that they've
Dude,
actually shown.
that's one of the only videos that still makes me cringe to this day. But holy fuck, man! R.I.P. Psycho Sid,
legend.
Sid Udi, multiple-time world champion. People don't realize that. He was the
Ramen
man.
noodle hair looked awesome.
Yeah, dude, rocking the Jerry curl. What a dude! But Grizz, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Kane_enabler.
And you can find me at Bad Taste Video, and you can find everything we do at www.badtastevideo.com. You can watch this podcast live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@badtastevideopodcast. You can listen to it after the fact every Thursdays when we release the audio version everywhere where you could find podcasts. And if you want to see what the fuck we're talking about, you can always go back to the YouTube channel and watch previous live streams. Yeah, look at that. Without even fucking up, man. I think I got the hang of that shit.
Dialed in.
But Grizz, is there anything else, man? Or are we done?
No, I'm done, dude.
That's it. All right, we're gonna cut our losses before I start fucking up and start munching on the word salad. But we will be covering Twisted Issues from 1988 next week, and we hope to see you live on YouTube. See ya next time.